You've never seen people fight unless there's money involved. That's usually when, if it is distributed and then sold, one of the heirs will come back and say, oh no, I didn't get my fair share. Grandpa or grandma meant to give this to me, and there you have a fight.
Thank you so much for joining me today. We have with us RJ Cutting, and we have with us Jeff Murphy. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, RJ and Jeff, they are with Fidelity National Title Company, and today they're going to talk to us about what is title. So RJ, Jeff, thank you so much for joining us. Go ahead and please introduce yourself and tell us about how long you've been in the business.
Jason, thank you for having us. We're happy to be here to help you with this, just a little education on title. I've been in the business 19 years. Took over as county manager for Ventura County about 2 years ago, this coming March. And been just blessed to be in a business that I truly have a lot of passion for, and get to work with a bunch of great people like yourself and this guy here. And I'll let Jeff introduce himself.
Hi, I've been in the business for about 30 years. Goes by really fast. Started out just searching, examining, just worked my way up. It is a great industry. Meet a lot of great people, and it changes, but it's exciting, and we're happy to be here. And thanks for having us.
All right. Well, awesome. Well, hey, I'm happy to have you. Thank you so much once again. So today we're going to talk about title insurance. Why don't you guys give briefly what exactly is title insurance and how does it pertain to the real estate transaction?
Well, title insurance, it will protect you from, let's say, a claim of somebody having a claim on your property, or something was missed, let's say open deed of trust, a lien. And so it covers after the fact, after you close. And that's where title insurance kicks in. We do litigation. We help you go through the courts and just help you clear everything up.
And I will say this, one thing that differs from like auto insurance and homeowners insurance is it's a one-time cost. It's not, doesn't keep going on. So our job's done once there's a close of escrow or whatnot.
Okay, so you guys, title insurance basically will protect the new buyer from any type of clouds on the title. Can you give us like an example? Like, what are some of the crazy things that the title insurance can protect you from?
Forgery. Sometimes somebody thinks they have a claim in the property or an interest in the property, so they might forge a deed. So we protect you from that. So we compare signatures and make sure that the person signing the deed actually owns the property. You can have heirs to the property when you have to go through probate, decree of distributions. You have separate interests. They can get divested, 1%, 2%. So we make sure that we have all the interests, and when you buy the property and the deed is conveyed to you, that you are 100% the owner of the property.
100% the owner. So what happens if you buy a property and like 6 months later, like someone comes back and claims that they own the property? What happens then?
That's where we have to go to work and clean it up, find whoever that person is and why they think they have an ownership in the property. And we do it behind the scenes, so we try not to alert the owner. We try and do it ourselves and clean it up for you. But in some instances, we do require the assistance of a real estate agent and also the buyer.
So have you guys had examples of people actually coming back and saying they own the property, but it was like completely made up and forged? People really do that?
I bet you he has after 30 years. Why don't you share one with us?
Yeah, but we're perfect. We've never had a claim. No, it's usually families when let's say the parents pass away and are in a trust and there's multiple beneficiaries. You've never seen people fight unless there's money involved. So that's usually when, if it is distributed and then sold, one of the heirs will come back and say, oh no, I didn't get my fair share. Grandpa or grandma meant to give this to me, and there you have a fight. So we do our due diligence and make sure that the person that sells the property has the right to sell it, and everybody who's entitled to their share gets their share.
I tell all my clients, you need to make sure that the property's in a trust if you plan on like leaving it to your children, because if it's not, I mean, even if it is, I mean, I've seen so many times where the kids fight and ruin their relationships
Right.
over who gets the house, right?
That is really important, man. I mean, I
Yeah,
think you're spot on by giving that advice.
I've had quite a few where the kids are fighting over it. You know, it's never pretty. It's never pretty.
No, it's not.
Well, and I think from the title perspective too, a trust lays out, it's specifically how the heirs, how everything should go, and from that perspective, gives us a good, smooth way to ensure it.
So is the only time that someone would purchase title insurance, is it only when they're selling the property?
Selling the property ensures the new buyer, and then if the buyer is taking out a loan, then we also issue a title policy to the lender.
To the lender as well, right?
And there's title insurance on refinance as well.
You know, I always get a little confused. There's two types of policies, right? There's the Alta policy, and then there's what's the other one?
As far as owners policies, there's the Alta homeowners, which protects you from a plethora of things.
Yeah.
And then there's a CLTA owners policy, which is basically a basic property that's more for, say, agricultural land or vacant land, something like that. It doesn't cover nearly as much.
Okay, cool. And who typically provides the title insurance? Is it always the seller?
In this state, yes. Most of the time it's the seller, unless that's negotiated through the contract.
Right, because everything's negotiable, right?
Right.
I just had someone ask me not too long ago, like, I don't want to pay this, I want the buyer to pay it. And it's yeah, I mean, everything's negotiable, right? I guess you can, but here in the state of California, 9 times out of 10, the seller is going to provide the new buyer with the title insurance policy during the escrow process.
Correct. Except our fees, they're not negotiable. They're monitored by the Department
Insurance, yeah.
of Insurance.
Oh, okay.
California.
I thought you were making a joke there for a second.
I did too, actually. I thought he was coming in with a smooth one there.
Serious.
And so, how do they base the fee on title insurance? Since you brought that up, it's like isn't it a percentage of the purchase price?
Yeah, we have a calculation, but it's all based on the sales price. That's correct, and or the loan amount.
Okay.
For the lender's side of the policy. So yeah, so it's all based on sales price or loan amount.
Okay, the sales price or the loan amount.
So you got 2 policies in a transaction most of the time. So
And
unless it's all cash. Obviously.
Unless it's all cash. So if it's all cash,
We'll just have an Alta homeowners policy.
okay. All right.
Yes. And again, that one's based solely on the sale price.
Right. Because you said another policy is for the lender, but obviously if there's not a lender involved,
Correct.
then you just need the one policy. Okay. And tell us a little bit more about Fidelity. I mean, I know there's a ton of title companies out there. Doesn't Fidelity own a lot of them?
Yeah, Fidelity, Fidelity is, I guess on Wall Street, what you call it, it's Fidelity National Financial. So, yes, title insurance is the biggest part of our company. And yes, we own quite a few title companies here locally. We have the biggest representation here in Ventura County with our brands. So you've got our brand, which I call the Granddaddy, Fidelity National Title. Lawyers Title is another strong brand of Fidelity F&F, Chicago Title as well in this county. But if you go south, I mean, you've got Tycor Title. I mean, we've probably got 10 brands nationally, plus or minus, throughout all of the nation. We do go outside the United States into some other countries as well. Yeah, it's a pretty good company, a great company to work for, and yeah, can't say enough about it.
Yeah, well, that's why I use you guys, because you're the granddaddy, huh?
That's it, baby. And I'm getting gray too. If you look at it's a little gray here, and
let's not talk about the grays.
right? Okay, sorry, that's probably the wrong one.
Title insurance is a requirement of the sale, right? Like it has to be purchased.
It does not.
Right.
It does not.
A lender's policy, yes, but not an owner's policy. Although it's a great idea too, I wouldn't recommend anybody buying a piece of property and not having title insurance.
For all the reasons he explained why you get title insurance, if you get caught with something that would be an issue,
Right. It's a one-time cost, and it protects you as long as you own the property.
Well, I've sold like 500 properties. I don't think we've ever sold a property without title insurance.
Right.
And it's a very nominal charge fee for what you're getting, for the price of the property. It's like a couple grand, $1,500 just depending on the price of the property, right?
Right. Mhm.
Yep, absolutely.
And so how long does the title insurance protect me? Is that going to protect me for the life of the house?
For as long as you own it.
For as long as you own it.
The great thing about title insurance, though, it covers past defects in the property. So if you own the property today for the next 10 years, but a problem arises from, like, say, an owner or an encroachment, something like that, that's been there, but you own it now, and we have the outstanding owner's title insurance, you're protected.
Nice. I've had one property where we're about to close and some lien pops up, and this lien must have been like 50 years old. And it was a big pain to get rid of it. What do you guys do in those situations where liens pop up right before closing?
Well, we'll take care of them. If we catch it before close, then it's our obligation to contact the creditor and get it cleared up. If it's a lien, judgment, something like that, federal tax lien, state tax lien, we try and clear it up.
And it's not
The best
really
way.
uncommon. I mean, those things, they happen. They do.
You have child support liens. There's all kinds of liens judgments to look out for, and that's why you need title insurance.
And if there's a lien that you guys can't source, the property can't close, right? Actually, I think it can. I think we did something one time where we got some type of exemption or something. Like, can we still get title insurance and close on a property?
We can insure properties subject to. Basically, we're going to show it, and it'll be an exception from your coverage. So you're taking it subject to that lien judgment, whatever that may be. Wouldn't suggest that either. I wouldn't, but they, on occasion, people do. If they know it's going to be cleared up,
Right. If they're
after the
confident,
fact.
right.
We can.
Yeah. It'd probably be smarter to wait until it's all removed before you close, though, right?
Yes, it is. But sometimes you can't. People want to move, and you could just blow up the transaction. So that's where we're good. We work with agents, lenders, the parties to try and make it feasible for everybody to close on time, move in, seller to move on, get their money, and everybody wins.
All right, awesome. Now, is there any difference? Because I always get asked this a lot, what title company can we choose? Like, and you guys mentioned that you own a lot of them here in Ventura County, but is there anything that sets the different title companies apart, or do they pretty much, all do the same thing?
We all do the same thing, but we can do it differently based on the people. So the title insurance industry is filled with great people, very knowledgeable, helpful people. You want to go with a company that's the best fit for you. Build a team. We love to be part of everyone's team, but there are conflicts sometimes, personalities, and that's kind of where it's different. Fidelity can be different from Chicago or lawyers. It's really about the people.
And with that said, he's totally 100% correct. But, the pricing's pretty much, especially the Fidelity brands are all the same. There's no difference in the price costs. The other brands are very close in regards to what we charge for title insurance. I think it's, when you're looking at a company like Fidelity, the financial backing of a company like Fidelity, you just can't. I think we have, I don't want to miss, but we have a huge reserves for claims to where, you'd be amazed how many claims actually come through a company like F&F, Fidelity, and all the other brands. It's a lot of money that goes out annually in regards to claims. And people sometimes wonder, well, why do we charge for title insurance? Because of situations we've got to, clear up,
Yeah, they may win the claim or lose the claim, but it does cost money to defend the claim.
Yep.
So that's where title insurance comes in. The money comes out of our pocket and not the buyer's pocket.
All right, awesome, awesome. And it must be a great place to work. You said you've been there 30 years?
Not here 30 years, in the industry 30 years, but most of it, if not all of it, has been with an F&F company.
Okay, okay. And RJ, I know that, I mean, as long as
15 of my 19 have been with Fidelity. Yeah. And so, yeah, I've been, yeah, no reason to go anywhere.
well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's one thing I do notice throughout the years, throughout my careers, is usually with title companies, you have different reps all the time. And so that's one thing, you know, I've loved about you, RJ, is you've been same place forever, as long as I've been here in Ventura County.
Well, I appreciate it. I take pride of that, man. I think you can get that reputation of moving around, and you know, I mean, why move when you got something, you know, when you believe in what I believe in this company, and you know, I think that's kind of where I stand. So I appreciate that.
Well, awesome, awesome. All right, man. Well, that about wraps it up. You know, do you guys, you know, anything else you want to share about, you know, title insurance and the importance of title insurance with anyone watching this video?
Yeah, don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call. I'll leave you my number, and you can put that wherever you want to put that. And just call me with questions. If you have questions, I'd rather answer those questions for you before than after something happens. So
Okay,
feel free to
okay.
call me.
Oh, and you know, go ahead and how can, you know, what is the best way to get a hold of you? You said phone. Why don't you go ahead and leave your guys'
What is my cell phone
numbers?
Never remember.
I don't even know his cell phone number, but
Oh,
hey, you can do it here. Have him call the office at 805-383-2353. Have him ask for Jeff Murphy, or the phone system will send you back to his phone number. So he'd be happy to answer those calls.
Okay.
And outside of that, Jason, we're always available for you. We appreciate you and what you do, because we know that is you do a great job.
Thank you, sir.
And,
Thank you.
We're grateful to that you support us, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, keep doing a good job for me, and I'll keep supporting you, buddy.
All right, my man.
don't mess up. No claims.
Don't mess
Appreciate
up.
it.
Not
Yeah.
All right, it's been awesome. It's been awesome, you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it again. If you guys found value in this video, please make sure to like and subscribe for future updates. And thank you so much for watching.